All right, y'all know what it is, man. The stage has been set, yo. Calvin Johnson versus Randy Moss. Your team desperately needs a wide receiver, and you can only pick one of these two gentlemen. These are the only two wide receivers left. You can't pick anybody else but one of these two. So who would y'all pick? But what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna go ahead and talk about both wide receivers and say how I feel about them. And they're actually high on my list. So I think highly of both of these receivers. I mean, Randy Moss and Calvin Johnson. I mean, you can't really say much more than those two names. But at the end of the day, man, I'm going to tell y'all how I feel about these two receivers, and then I'm going to tell you my pick, actually, who I would pick for my team to be my number one wide receiver. So let's get into it, man. Randy Moss, man. Randy, man. We got a 6'4" receiver, 210 pounds, ran a 4.25, low 4.3s possibly. You know what I'm saying? That was back in the day before they was really legitly timing these 40s like they are now, but definitely had the height and had the size and obviously had the speed. Calvin Johnson, 6'5", 239 pounds, ran a 4.35. Um, didn't run as fast as Randy. Randy was running his ass off at the combine, but or at Marshall, whichever one it was. Calvin Johnson definitely took somebody else's shoes though because he wasn't expected to run that 40. So he was like, "Hey, bro, let me hold them nights real quick and let me go out here and just surprise people and show them the speed and so I can dead all this talk." So he did that and ran a good speed of 4.35, and he ain't do no other workouts after that. I don't believe. Yeah, man, sit down, bro. Go ahead and get in the car and take it on to the hotel, man. That's what I would have did, honestly. But that definitely Calvin Johnson, three-time first team All Pro, six-time Pro Bowler, two-time NFL receiving yards leader, NFL's 2010's All Decade Team. Randy Moss, 1998 Offensive Rookie of the Year. Four-time first team All Pro, six-time Pro Bowler, five-time NFL leader in touchdowns, 2000's All Decade Team. You got Randy having 982 receptions, 15,000 yards, receiving yards, 156 touchdowns, with 14 years in the league. You got Calvin with 731 receptions, 11,000 receiving yards, and 83 touchdowns, only 8 years in the league. Man, look, man. Randy Moss, everybody know what Randy do, man. Everybody knows what Randy does. I mean, you a person that you so crazy with it. They gave you your own guy. You know what I mean? Your own jump guy. You know what I mean? Your own name for the jump guy, man. You got your own guy, man. I mean, it's immortal, man. You know what I mean? They named a whole catch after you, man. Your own. Come on, man. So Randy does it for me, man. Don't get me wrong. Definitely Randy, man. Randy Moss was like that, man. You really couldn't do too much with him, especially back in the day. Especially when he had Culpepper throwing it to him. Oh my God. You telling me you didn't play with that man on what Madden was that? It eludes me, but there was a Madden with this boy and Culpepper. You couldn't do nothing with it, man, for real, man. But definitely Randy Moss, man. He was like that, and everybody, you know what I'm saying. If you were to pick him, you really couldn't go wrong, man. You can't go wrong with either one of these dudes, man. You know what I'm saying. But somebody must be picked at the end of the day. You know what I mean? He had his own. He got a name for his own guy, man. You know what I mean? Give me that, man. You know what I mean? They do it today, man. Boy came in the league like in '98, man. Come on, man. They still talking about that thing, man. Come on, man. You can't get no better than that, man. So what we gonna do now is we're gonna talk about this fool. this fool right here, man, there's no way, there's absolutely no way you're not like that and you get the name Megatron, man. If you get the nickname Megatron, I don't care what nobody says. That's big business, man. When it come to nicknames, man, that's big business on my end, man. I take those very seriously. So if you ever get a nickname of Megatron, you him, bro. You're him. You know what I'm saying? Period. Point blank. Bro, and another thing that makes this fool crazy, you come from Georgia Tech. If you watch college football, everybody know Georgia Tech's scheme offensively. This, run, run. It's a running based team, offensive team, period. So Calvin Johnson being the number two, bro, being the number two player taken overall in that draft is crazy coming out of Georgia Tech. Crazy. You know you crazy when you coming out of Georgia Tech and you still the number two player and you a wide receiver coming out of Georgia Tech being the number two overall pick. Crazy. Crazy. So we all know what Randy do and we all know what Calvin do. Calvin gonna go get it. He gonna snatch it. He gonna grab it. He's gonna run past you. He's gonna stiff arm you. He gonna jump over you. Calvin got three on him. Yo, they had to get in gunner formation for the boy, man. When the boy get to the goal line, they had to get in gunner. That means two. I got two corners right here in front of this man. Like, yo, I'm gonna stand. I never seen that, bro. Never seen that. So we all know what the time it is, man. Let's see what this boy Megatron got. I mean, bottom line, man, I'm about to just go ahead and make my pick right here, right now, man. You know what I mean? Out of Randy Moss and Calvin Johnson, if I needed a wide receiver to be my number one and I couldn't pick anybody else, only these two young men, come on, man. I'm going with Calvin, man. I'm going with Megatron, man. And it's really not that close, man. And it's crazy because I say that and Randy Moss is like that, like big business, like the freak, you know what I'm saying? But I'm going with Calvin, man. Calvin number one, man. Megatron, all day. Like all day. Like I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. All day. I really wish I got to see him and Sean Taylor go at it. Like but that's neither here nor there, man. Calvin Johnson, man, my number one receiver on my team, and I'm picking Calvin over Randy Moss, man. Period. And like I told you, it's not even close, man. I'm gonna be very honest with you. It's really not, and that's not even a downer to Randy Moss. I'm talking about over anybody, man. I'm not picking no wide receiver. If you can put him against Jerry, you can put him against T.O., you can put him against anybody else, man. I'm picking number 81, man. I'm picking Calvin, man. So that's my pick, man. Holla at me. Let me know how y'all feel about that, man. Because, like I told y'all, man, I want to debate, man. Tell me how y'all feel about that, man. Tell me how y'all feel and tell me who y'all would actually pick to be the number one wide receiver on your team, even though your team is trash.